Hello, the standard way for quadratic equation is in this form, which is x squared plus bx plus c. Always the highest power must come first, followed by the lower power and the constant, right? From there you equate it to 0. Now, how to identify a quadratic equation? Anytime you see an equation that has a power wherein the highest power is 2, automatically that particular equation will classify this as a quadratic equation. Anytime you see an equation that the highest power of the equation is 2, is a quadratic. Like this is a quadratic. Why? Because of this highest power, which is 2. Here the power is 1, here is a constant, so it's a quadratic equation. I hope it's clear and understandable. Good. Now, always quadratic equation has 2 solutions. In other words, they have 2 answers when you are solving them. Right? Now let's see how to solve quadratic equation. But before we go then, please subscribe, like, and share. Let's do our first question. Now let's solve this question, which says, example 1, solve the equation x squared minus 2x minus 3. Automatically, this equation is a quadratic. Why? Because of these 2. The highest power here is what? 2, power 1, and a constant, right? We always identify quadratic equation by the power, the highest power. If you see the highest power is 3, automatically we call that equation cubic equation. But if the highest power is 2, we call it quadratic equation. If the highest power is 1, we call it linear equation. I hope. Good. I've taught in all of those topics. Now let's solve it. How to solve it? The first step here, you multiply the first term, which is this one, this last term and this first term. You see? Those terms that are circle, you multiply them. The first term and the last term. So if x squared times minus 3x is going to be what? Minus 3x squared. It's understandable. What's next? Our next step here, you are going to take this number, the number of what you have multiplied, which is 3, divided by 1. So 3 minus 1 is going to be 2. So if you say minus 3x, right, plus x is going to be what? Minus 2x. You see minus 3x plus 6 is going to be minus 2x. And this minus 2x is the middle term. This middle term. You see it? And this is minus 2x. So in other words, anywhere you see the middle term, which is 2x, now you are going to substitute this minus 3x plus 2x, right, into this middle term, which is minus 2x. That's what we are going to do. Now we are finding the 2 term. Now this term, the 2 term, if you add or subtract those 2 terms, we are going to have the middle term. Then if we multiply these 2 terms, then we are going to have this term. You see it? Good. Now let's say minus 3x times x is going to be what? Minus 3x squared. You see? Minus 3x times x minus 3x squared. So we have this middle term. Then when we add or subtract them, we have what? This term, right? What are we going to do? Anywhere we see minus 2x, we are going to substitute this. You see it? So we take the equation x squared. We have minus 2x. Now we are not going to put here minus 2x. We are going to put this one. Minus 3x plus x. Do you see? And the last time we have what? Minus 3 equals to 0. I hope it's clear. These are the way how to solve quadratic equation. Our next step here is what? We group them by term, 2 terms. The first term, the second term, group. The first term, the second term, we group. You see? And there must be a sign between the 2 brackets. What are we going to do? In each bracket, we are going to find the common factor, which is what? The common factor for this bracket is what? X. X into x squared is what? X. X into 3x is just 3, right? What is this? Is plus. Here the common factor is what? 1, right? 1 into x is just x. 1 into plus times minus is minus. 1 into 3 is 3 equals to 0. What is the next thing? The next step here, we take the number that are outside the bracket. In other words, the digit that are outside the bracket. X and this plus 1 and group them. X plus 1 group. Now if you observe one thing, in always quadratic equation, the 2 brackets must be the same. X minus 3, x minus 3. So take one of the brackets equals to 0. What are we going to do? Each bracket there, we are going to equate it. X plus 1 equals to 0. X minus 3 is equals to 0. You see? And we transpose x plus 1, right? So x, if you transpose this one, is going to give you x equals to minus 1. If you transpose this minus 3, is going to give you what? X equals to 3. So what are the value of x? as I told you, quadratic equation must always have two solutions. In other words, two answers, right? The values of x dot x equals to what? -1 and 3. You see it? I hope it's understandable. Good. Do you see what we did for example 1? It's exactly the same thing we are going to do for example 2. Now let's move. But before we go, please subscribe, like, and share. If you are new here, consider subscribing now. If you are a returning viewer, please subscribe now. Don't forget, I'm waiting. Thank you for subscribing. And if you found this video interesting, please share it and also like. Now let's move to example 2. Now this example 2 is somehow different from example 1 a little bit. What are we going to do? Remember, I began explaining the standard way of setting quadratic equation, which is what? Standard form. X squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. First, the highest power, the lowest power, and the constant. Now let's set it this way. 2x squared, which is the highest power, we transpose is going to be minus 6x. We transpose is going to be 4x equals to 0. Right? What are we going to do? Once we have set it this way in standard form, we are going to do the same step again. Multiply this first term and the last term with their signs. And let's do. We are going to have plus 8x squared. 2x squared plus 4x is plus 6x squared, right? Now we are going to find two terms. If we add or subtract those two terms, we are going to have this middle term. If we multiply those two terms, we are going to have this. You see it? Now what are we going to do? Take the number of this one, which is this 8. Always take, when you have multiplied the first and the last term, the number that you have, take that number, divide it for us to have this two term. So 8 divided by 2, you are going to have what? 4. So if we say 4 plus 2 is 2 plus 4 is going to be 6. So in other words, so minus 4 minus 2 is going to be what? Minus 6. So we are going to say minus 4x minus 2x. We are going to have what? Minus 6x. You see, what is the middle term? The middle term here is 6. Here it is what? Minus 6. You see, now we have the same. So anywhere we see minus 6x, now we are going to substitute this one. Now let's multiply it. Minus 4x multiplied by what? Minus 2x. What are we going to have? Minus times minus plus 4x times 2x is going to be 8x. You see, you have this term. That's how satisfied that these are the two terms which you must add, right? Now we write the equation now, which is what? We write the first term, 2x squared. Remember I told you, anywhere you see minus 6x, you are going to put what? These two terms, just like what we did for example 1. 4x minus 2x, right? Plus the last term, which is 4, equals to 0. Next step, we group them. And we leave a sign between the brackets, right? Always remember that. The first example, it was plus, and the second example now is what? Minus. Now we go. We find a common factor in each bracket. The common factor here is 2x. 2x into x squared is what? X. Minus 4x into 2x is what? It's 2x into 4x is what? 2. Right? Here the sign is minus. What is the common factor here is 2. 2 into 2x is what? X. Minus times plus is minus. 2 into 4 is 2 equals to 0. As I told you, always the two brackets must be the same. X minus 2, x minus 2. Now we take the brackets, they dig it outside the bracket, which are these. You see them? We will say 2x minus 2. We take one of these brackets, x minus 2 equals to 0. Now we equate each bracket. So 2x minus 2 equals to 0, x minus 2 equals to 0. You see it? What are we going to do? We transpose equals to 2. X equals to 2. Divided here by 2, divided here by 2. This cancels this. So x equals to what? 2 divided by 2 is what? 1. Here x is equals to 2. So what are the value of x? Therefore, the values of x are what? 1 and 2. You see it? I hope it's clear and it's understandable. If you are a returning viewer, please subscribe now if you have not yet subscribed. If you are new in this channel, consider subscribing. And if you found this video interesting, share it and also like. Thank you. And let's also do our last example, which says what? And as I told you earlier, that the standard form of setting quadratic equation is what? Ax squared plus bx, right, plus c equals to 0. Now if you look at this quadratic equation, it's not in the standard form. Always what? The highest power first and the lowest power second and the constants. Let's set it this way. X squared, now we transpose minus 7x plus c plus 0 equals to 0. Because there is no constant, so we put 0 for it. So we say x squared minus 7x equals to 0. Right? 0 add into any number, just number itself. Right? What are we going to do next? Now, anytime you have two terms in a quadratic equation, you are going to find common factor straightforward. Right? We say x squared. The common factor here is going to be what? X. X into x squared is just what? X. X into minus 7 is just 7 equals to 0. We equate x equals to 0, x minus 7 equals to 0. So x equals to 7. So what are the values of x? So therefore the value of x dot x is equals to 0 and 7. You see? So therefore x equals to 7. That's your answer. Please, if you are new, as I said, consider subscribing. If you are a returning viewer and you have not yet subscribed, do it now. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Watch out for more video on quadratic equation and also past question, and I'll be uploading more video that I'll be teaching into simplicity. Thank you.